Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another strategic analysis of a board game. Today we are doing Shadows over Camelot. And this was published by Days of Wonder in 2005. So yeah, it's a great game. I'm going to go into the strategies you can use to win this game and to help you out and have fun playing the game. And I better actually start out with my disclaimer though, that I start with all of my videos telling you that I'm assuming that you know how to play this game, because I don't want to take the time, I don't want to waste your time explaining the rules. So yeah, hopefully you know how to play, and this is it's not a review and it's not a tutorial, this is just all about strategy. So hopefully that's what you're looking for, because that's what I'm going to give you. So yeah, it's a fun game. It's a cooperative game, but it's one of those trader games where you're all working together, but you might have someone who's actually working against you, and who's a traitor. So it's a really fun game. It's so much fun. Yeah, if you got some good friends together, and you guys can kind of go back and forth, jokingly accusing each other of being a traitor. Oh man, it's a great time. And I played so many games of this and with my friends, and yeah, we've had a great time playing. So I'm excited to tell you some of the strategies that I found useful, and I hope you do too. Yeah, so I'm gonna be talking from the perspective of the loyal knights, because most of the knights and possibly everybody is gonna be loyal. And then I'm going to talk about some traitor strategies too later on. But to begin with, it's really going to be all about the loyal knights and how to win the game, because that's what you're either trying to do or you're going to be pretending to try to do. Let's start off with the basic game plan that you can use to start the game, and then kind of I'll go a little bit into the mid game too. One thing you want to do, so to start off, you want to just hang out in Camelot really for a while. Draw cards and draw to your max cards. That'll give you an idea of what you have to work with. If you have straights, if you have duplicates of one type of card, it'll really help you figure out which quest you should be going on and the team should be going on. Each of the members of the team should be going on. So that's what you want to do first. As far as the progression of evil, you always in the beginning anyway want to draw the black card, because while you're drawing cards, seeing what weapons you have to defeat these quests, you want to also just get all the crap out on the board. So you want to draw the black cards and get the picks and the Saxons and the Lancelots and the Black Knights and all the cards out there, so you know which quests have not even come up and which ones are already like maybe halfway to losing. So that will help you determine which quests you want to go on first and complete more quickly. So that's your starting out. That's what you want to do to begin the game. And then once you have a full hand, obviously start spreading out to the quests corresponding to the cards that you were given, and to your special abilities too. Because yeah, some people are just better at certain quests than the others, depending on your special abilities or special powers. That's one thing. While you're playing the game, you always want to be keeping an eye out for who might be the traitor. Whether it be someone who is acting in kind of a suspicious way. Just like oh, what's wrong with what's wrong with Jim? Why is he acting that way? It seems kind of nervous, or even if you're really good friends with people on the team, a lot of times you can just tell if they're the traitor just because they're acting weird in the first like 2 minutes. Or even when they just like flip over their card and they see that they're a traitor, and they just like make all these awkward movements and oh my god, what do I do? So yeah, that's one way just to detect a traitor. And then yeah, just look for people who are obviously not really, they either don't care about they don't seem to care about wanting to win the game, or they actually actively seem to be trying to lose the quest for you. So yeah, obviously depending on the degree and degree of their unusual behavior, I guess, you can decide whether you want to accuse them of being a traitor. But don't just accuse everybody of being a traitor, because it's really bad to accuse a loyal knight of being a traitor. So make sure that they are a traitor before you do it. Alright, gone way too far into that. Alright, so what else do you need to know? When you go to a quest, you always want to, if you're loyal, you want to use a life to perform the heroic action at that quest, because time is what's important in this game. You need to complete these quests as quickly and efficiently as possible. So definitely get rid of a life and perform a heroic action when you arrive at a quest. That is important. I think that is it for just kind of the general strategy. One last thing is that the Excalibur and the Grail quests are things that you should just be keeping at bay throughout the game and not winning until the end. Because once you complete these quests, you're going to flip it over to the catapult side, and then anytime you get one of those quest cards, you're going to have to throw a catapult up there, and catapults are freaking hard to kill, so you don't want to do that early. So yeah, save those quests for later, and yeah, I'll go into that in some more detail later, but yeah, just have someone keep those two at bay while you complete the other quests, you know, the Black Knights and Lancelot and the Picts and Saxons and such. So yeah, that's it for your basic game plan. So now I'm gonna switch over to just going through each quest individually, and I'm gonna start out with the Grail quest. This one, like I said, just keep it at bay throughout the game. Don't complete it too quickly. You don't want to throw out a bunch of catapults out there that you're gonna have to be destroying, you know, for the rest of the game. So yeah. Reward is pretty sweet, but actually this one is probably the worst reward in the game, so yeah, you don't need it. So this one is an interesting one because it can get out of hand quickly because there is almost a 24% chance of drawing a Despair type of card from the black deck, and there's only just over 21% chance of drawing a Grail card from the white deck. So it's pretty easy for this one to get out of hand. You might even need more than one person to keep this one at bay occasionally. So you usually want to have someone always dumping Grail cards into this quest throughout the game, and then when they run out, you're going to have to switch to someone else. And yeah, you might even have to have two people at once do this, so that you don't lose it, because yeah, this hurts to lose this one. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose it. But yeah, don't want to win it too quickly. So another reason to just keep it at bay is that if you beat it right away, you're still going to be drawing Grail cards. Like I said, over 21% of the time, you're going to be drawing Grail cards from that white deck. So what are you going to do with them? You know, if you don't have a Grail quest to complete, what are you going to do with them? You know, you can definitely dump them in Excalibur, but that's a high percentage of cards that are going to be fairly worthless to you. And yeah, you can trade them in, but it's yeah, you will do better to just keep dumping those into the Grail quest, keeping it at bay, and complete the quest later on. So that is the best strategy to use. One other tip I will mention on this one that you could use if you suspect someone of being a traitor. This is a great place to send them because they can't screw it up. You know, if you send them to combat type quests, they can put the wrong cards down and you can end up losing them. So that can do a lot of damage. But if you put them here, I mean, the only thing you can do is put Grail cards here. So yeah, it's a kind of a good test. If you suspect someone of being a traitor, you can have King Arthur give them Grail cards and then say, hey, go to that quest and throw down Grail cards. Obviously they can lie to you and say, I don't have any Grail cards after they, you know, dump the ones that King Arthur gave them, but still, it's a good test, and you can kind of contain a traitor for a while, or a suspected traitor. So yeah, that is the Grail quest, and so yeah, next let's talk about Excalibur. So yeah, for this one, it's similar to the Grail in that you want to keep it at bay throughout the game. And it's a pretty easy one. It's actually quite a bit easier than the Grail one because for this one you have less than a 20% chance of drawing an Excalibur card from the black deck. So that's pretty low compared to some of the others. So yeah, you also have the flexibility of just being able to dump any crap you have in your hand in here to bring the sword closer to your side of the shore. Sounds pretty cool. So yeah, this is a pretty easy quest, and to keep it at bay, you may not even need someone there all the time. Just because, yeah, Actually, okay, so the coolest thing you can do is to just assign this quest to Tristan, because Tristan can move around for free. So if you have Tristan in the game, a really good idea is to just say like, okay Tristan, keep an eye on this. You don't have to be there the whole time, but as soon as it starts getting closer to the losing side of you should run back there and throw some crap in there to bring it back to our side of the shore. So he can, so a good kind of combination is for him to just go between Camelot and drawing cards, and then running out there to help out with this quest. You know, because then he can get some other cool cards like you know, heroism, something like that. So on that note, heroism. This is an excellent candidate quest for using heroism. So heroism is the one that adds additional white sword if you can beat it. So if you can put it on this one, or the Grail one works too. It's better because you know you're not going to lose it, because you can see clearly everything. Like, is the sword on our side of the shore? If so, we win. Or, you know, are we full of Grails on the Grail quest? If so, then we win. So you don't have the question of, did the Traitor throw, you know, the wrong combat card on a combat quest, and now we're going to lose it. And so if you put a heroism card on there, that is just, it's a little riskier, quite a bit riskier. So I would not recommend doing that. So yeah, Excalibur or the Grail is where you want to put heroism. So yeah, that I think that is about all we have to say about Excalibur. So yeah, we are going to move on. The Lancelot quest. This is a crucial quest to understand. It is really helpful for the Loyal Knights, and incredibly helpful for the Traitor Knight. So yeah, you want to get this, but you want to be sure that a Loyal Knight is the one completing this quest, which is, it's tough to do if you've got a very tricky Traitor who is really good at faking being a Loyal Knight. Yeah, it's great though. Okay, so yeah, I mean, obviously, you know the rules. You get to draw 2 cards and pick one black card. So draw 2 black cards, pick one to use, put one on the bottom of the deck with this armor. So if you're the Traitor, you can pick the worst one possible, put it on the bottom of the deck. No one knows that you did that. And if you're a Loyal Knight, you put the most devastating black card of the 2 on the bottom of the deck and pick the other one. So great for both sides. Cool thing, you can use the armor after the Traitor has been discovered. So the Traitor can continue to use it if he or she hasn't. So can continue to use it to their advantage later on. So yeah, give you really good reward. So you got to be very careful with it. So the draw rate is under 15%. So for the Lancelots, so not too many of these are gonna fall. Not that high, but yeah, you definitely don't want to lose this quest. That's for sure. So yeah, when you have the choice of flipping over the card face up or keeping it face down on this one, just based on how many of each number there are. I highly recommend putting 1s and 3s face down and 5s and 7s face up if you're a Loyal Knight, of course. So that is my recommendation, and yeah, that's about all I have to say about Lancelot for now. I'll touch on it a little bit in the Traitor section too. All right, the Dragon Quest. This one, very similar to Lancelot. Of course, it has the same draw rate of just under 15%. So that's another one doesn't come up that often, which is really good because you really want to ignore this one. At least that is my recommendation. It just takes too many cards. If you do want to take this on, do it as a team, because one person will spend the entire game on this one trying to complete it. So, but yeah, it takes so many white cards that I would just say ignore it. It hurts to lose it, and I mean, if you can beat it fairly easily, you have time, I guess, beat it. But I usually just ignore this one completely. And just focus on the other quests. You can hurry up and you know, complete some pick some Saxons or Black Knight or something like that. That's you know, going to be a little quicker to beat. and just focus on those and just don't worry about this one. Let it go. But yeah, if you do want to try to complete it, it has the average strength of the dragon cards is 7.2. So I recommend keeping the 5s and 7s face down, and then the 9s and 11s face up. Again, if you're a loyal knight, you would do that. But yeah, this one just takes too much time, aka white cards, heroic actions to complete. So yeah, just ignore it. So alright, let's move on to the Picts and the Saxons. This quest is actually pretty important to understand because it's one that's going to kind of cycle through quite a bit throughout the game. Each side, the Picts or the Saxons, each have four spots, so that's not too many. But the draw rate is pretty low too. Out of the black deck, you get just over 17% draw rate. But that's between the two quests, because there's a few of those mercenary cards where you can just choose which one to put, whether you want to go Picts or Saxons. So I just lumped them all together, just over 17% for both of them combined. So that's actually pretty low. But yeah, again, with only 4 spots, that you can lose them pretty quickly. So don't worry about these too much. You can lose 1 or 2 of these quests, and it won't kill you. These are usually kind of a good one to do because, I mean, a straight isn't that easy to get. You know, it's 5 cards, so it's kind of a lot, and then it's you have to get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5, there aren't that many 5s or even 4s in the white deck, so it's kind of hard to beat this one sometimes. So yeah, let it go if you have it. Let it go if you have to, but yeah, if you have a straight, you go here and knock it out. You don't want to you don't want to go to a quest though with the 0 of these guys on it. Maybe not even 1. You want to wait till they get two or three before you complete the quest, because that's like kind of, you have to use black cards to put these guys on there. So if you complete it with like 0 Picts on it and you complete the Picts, then you just kind of wasted the black cards that you could have used. Where maybe the Saxons have 2 or 3 of them on there. It'd be great to complete that one and then just kind of erase those 2 or 3 black cards that were used to put them on there. So that's all I had to say about that quest. So the Black Knight is kind of similar to the Picts and Saxons because it's one that you're going to cycle through pretty quickly also, throughout the course of the game. There's only 4 cards on either side, so that will force the end of the quest. Either if there's 4 black cards that drop or 4 white cards that drop, the quest will end. And the draw rate is just under 15%, so it's pretty average. So yeah, the strength of the Black Knight, the average strength is 2.8. So I would actually. I would suggest using the same strategy as the Lancelot quest and putting 1s and 3s face down and 5s and 7s face up, just to keep it simple. And the Lancelot quest actually has a 3.2 average strength, where this one has a 2.8. So this one's a little easier. But yeah, this is another one. Yeah, you can lose you can lose one of these and it's not going to kill you throughout the game. So yeah, just a pretty easy one. If you have the cards to beat this one, go beat it and get your white sword, and yeah, that's about it. Pretty simple one. Now it's time to talk about traitor stuff. First I'm going to talk about detecting a traitor, and yeah, so the traitor aspect of the game is what makes this so much fun, and it's not just another cooperative game that's fairly easy to beat. You actually have to start. It's really funny. You get to know how well you know your friends too, when they start acting differently, and you wonder if they're just confused about something, they're thinking about something else, daydreaming about something else, or are they the traitor and they just don't know how to act, So yeah, that's really fun. So detecting a traitor, I have to mention that, just watch people and see if they're acting unusually. And someone who maybe is very strategic and tries to help the team out with strategies, if they don't do that or they don't really give very good advice, obviously that's a sign that someone is a traitor. So yeah, a lot of those just completely outside of the game. You know, just trying to read people who are playing with you. It's so much fun in this game. So yeah, that's one way to try to detect a traitor. But then also, if there's a new person playing the game, and this game is great for adding new people into to introducing someone to a new game, because everybody's kind of on the same team. Yeah, there might be a traitor, but everybody's kind of helping out, so it's great to just kind of help the new person out. So oftentimes you will play this with a new person who's never played the game before, or a couple, and that makes it even tougher, because if they're the traitor, you don't know if they're actually doing incorrect actions on purpose, or if they're actually the you know, if they just don't really know how the game works. And so yeah, it's fun if you don't help them out too much, and you don't just say, like, you know, okay, new person, you know, go to this quest and put down this card, and if you don't tell them, you know, just kind of let them play. You know, it's fun. It's a lot more fun. But yeah, you got to be very, very careful. And I have made this mistake before in accusing a new player of being a traitor when they actually just didn't really know how the game worked. And then you feel terrible, because you're pretty much telling them, man, you really suck at this game. Like, you were so bad at this game that I thought you were actually playing for the other team. So one time I did that. Oh, I just felt so bad. So be careful of that, because it actually really hurts the team to accuse a loyal knight of being a traitor. So yeah, be very careful. Make sure that someone is a traitor before you accuse them. Unless, of course, you're the traitor. Then those rules don't so much apply. But I'll go over that in the next segment. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about? It's about detecting the traitor. Yeah, so if you're experienced in this game, the traitor, the most valuable item, obviously, for the traitor, the best thing they can do is to get that Lancelot's armor. So if someone seems exceptionally excited about going to the Lancelot quest, that's suspicious. So maybe one thing to do if that happens is don't let them go. Say, I don't know, let's send Jim over that quest instead. Just because Jim has shown really no interest in going to that quest, and maybe he has shown other good loyal qualities too. So yeah, if someone is really excited about Lancelot's armor, that's a sign they might be a traitor. So obviously don't accuse them, but just don't let them go, or tell them not to go and have someone else. So yeah, if they still go, then yeah, they're a traitor. Then you could accuse them. So there's that. Yeah, next I'm going to really go now from the traitor perspective and talk about some traitor strategies. Alright, the most fun part of this game, and that is playing as the traitor. When I check my loyalty card and I see that I'm a traitor, I have to hold everything back, because I am internally incredibly excited that I get this monumental challenge of losing the game for the Loyal Knights. Because yeah, like I said, this game is so skewed towards the Loyal Knights winning the basic rules. So yeah, it's a big challenge and a lot of fun. So you have to be very, very sneaky, which is kind of fun to play that role sometimes. So yeah, okay. So playing as a traitor, you have two ways you can approach it. The first one is to try to stay unrevealed throughout the entire game. So just don't do anything too outrageous to lose quests for the team. You know, do as much as you can. If there's, you know, things like if there's a quest that a lot of the knights have gone on, like maybe the dragon quest, and you go help out, then you can lose that one fairly safely, because you're gonna shuffle all the cards and then put them down, and then no one's gonna know who for sure through that quest. So things, just do as much damage as you can without being caught. So like, don't take life points away to do additional heroic actions. Conveniently forget to do that. Conveniently forget to use your special ability, whatever it is, your special power, that kind of thing. So yeah, just do everything you can without being obviously the traitor. And then at the end of the game, you get to flip the white swords to black, and hopefully that'll be enough to to lose the game for everybody because you stay unrevealed. So that is one option. It's a little risky though because someone can still call you out as a traitor. Sometimes it's really hard, especially for a lot of people who aren't very good at being sneaky, to play that role through the game. So like you might not do anything that really would make you seem like a traitor, but you might be playing with your best friend who knows you so well and is like, wow, he looks really nervous and he is acting in a weird way and he is not playing like he would normally play, and then it's, that might be enough to just have them call you out. And even though you didn't, so now you haven't heard the team that much, you're not going to stay unrevealed until the end, so you're not going to flip the swords over, and you have very little chance at that point of winning the game, of having the loyal knights lose the game. So it's a little risky, which is why I would go with the alternative option for how to play as the traitor, and that is to assume you're going to get revealed and just do as much damage as you possibly can before that happens. So that is going to be things like going right away to get Lancelot's armor. That must be your first move. If you can do it, hopefully you don't get revealed just by being too excited to go for Lancelot's armor. But get that, and then hopefully everybody will be very happy. Like, yes, you're helping the team. You completed this quest. You got us a white sword, and you got us Lancelot's armor, and you're using Lancelot's armor, hopefully correctly, so that you're helping us, but you're really not. And everybody will be happy. And then you can move on to another quest, and maybe put down 2 cards that will guarantee losing that quest. So like Black Knight, put down 2 cards that don't match, and then on your next turn, maybe leave and maybe go to another quest and lose a life and throw down another card that will lose that quest for the team. So maybe you go to the picked quest that somebody had to leave after putting down 2 cards, and you put down, a 1 in the 3rd slot. So then you're probably going to get called out as a traitor at that point. But hopefully you've now lost 2 quests for the team. You have Lancelot's armor, which you can use later. Maybe you accused a knight along the way too. Someone was jokingly suggesting that one of the loyal knights is a traitor, and so you're just like, I think you're right, you are a traitor. And then you get, get a black sword on the table for that, and yeah, then you've just done a crap ton of damage, and you hopefully have done enough to win the game, especially now when you are revealed and you have Lancelot's armor and you can still draw a couple of the black cards and take the worst one possible for the team. Oh man, yeah, that's the best strategy, if you can pull that off, and then you don't have to be as sneaky for as long also, which can be kind of tough if you're not very good at it. So that's one I always use, because yeah, people can usually tell that I'm the traitor if I try to hide it too much. So yeah, definitely recommend that strategy. That is it. So next, general tips. So the first one is just to make sure you use your special powers. They're pretty good. I mean, most of the knights have good powers. You can use them, if you use them at the right times in the right places, they can really help out the team. So don't forget about them. Also, don't forget about if you have any of the items, the armor or the Excalibur or the Grail, use those too. So just don't forget them, because it's really easy to get into the game and then just forget about your special power. So always keep that in mind, what you have and where it can be most effective, and use it there. So that is important. Oh crap! You know what I forgot? I forgot to tell you one interesting strategy for the traitor. So I guess we kind of have to go back to the last section about being a traitor. One thing you can do too is go for a monopoly of one of the type of combat cards. There's only 8 4 combat cards and 7 5 of the 5 combat cards. So if you can take all of the 5s, if you can draw a bunch of cards, hoard all the 5 combat cards, it's going to make it very hard to complete the quests. So like the straights, how do you get a straight without 5s? or, you know, since it's a higher number too, beating any of the quests, the Black Knight, the Dragon, it becomes harder if you don't have those 5s. If you're trying to, you know, win it with 1s and 2s and 3s, that's really tough. Even, you know, snagging all the 4s can be pretty good too. So whatever you have a lot of, try to get a monopoly on those. It's a really cool strategy for the Traitor that I had to mention. Okay, back to general tips and stuff. Talk about knight abilities too in a minute. What else? So also another kind of general tip. If you try not to have a lot of people go to the same quest, have one person stick to a quest and complete it where possible. It's not going to happen all the time. You're not going to be able to stick to that completely, but this is mainly for the combat quest, because if a Traitor sees that a whole bunch of other knights have gone to a specific combat quest, it's a great opportunity for them to make an excuse to get there and lose that quest, because since the cards are all shuffled before they're revealed, you don't know for sure who lost the quest for the team. So it's a way for them to lose a quest without drawing too much attention to themselves. So it's better if you can have one person complete each quest, but yeah, it's not one of those rules that you can stick to 100% of the time, or should. Alright, what else? So I guess I'm just going to go over some of the knights, of the abilities of these knights that matter. So for one, Galahad and Arthur should really hang out in Camelot and draw cards whenever they can, and so then they go out and, you know, once they hit their max card limit, then they go out and try to complete some quests, but otherwise they should draw as much as possible, because obviously Arthur can shoot cards over to the other players, all the other knights, and Galahad can use those white cards for free. So yeah, they should do that. Those are abilities that you should use, well, at least Arthur's, every turn. Galahad, whenever it makes sense, whenever you can, whenever he has white cards to use for free. And so then also, like, Percival has an awesome ability. So like running through those black cards and picking hopefully black cards that are a little better, or at least avoiding those that will be really bad for the team. So his is really good. Tristan again, another one that should hang out in Camelot quite a bit, and then just jump over to a quest whenever they're needed, since he can travel for free. So that is good to keep in mind. Kay is good at, most effective at fighting siege engines if nobody has Excalibur. So he's a good one to do that if that is necessary, but hopefully in a game you don't even need to worry about siege engines, because you shouldn't be putting down too many of those. But yeah, if you need to fight them, Kay's a good one to do it. And Gawain, a lot of people don't really like Gawain's power, but I think it's pretty decent. You can more quickly get through that white deck, you know, because if the white deck or the black deck runs out, then you reshuffle both. So then you can use. So actually, one thing I didn't mention, kind of a general tip, is that Merlins should be used fairly quickly. Don't just save them for the whole game, because if you can use them to remove some black cards, then they will get reshuffled back into the deck. You can draw them again, use them again. So you usually actually want to get rid of those Merlins as quickly as you can. Not as quickly as you can. I mean, don't waste them. But yeah, when you see a decent opportunity to use a Merlin, just do it. But yeah, so then Gawain can get through that white deck quicker, and you can get those Merlins back in your hands. So the last thing I'll mention is to not be too hasty in accusing someone of being a traitor, because especially if you're playing with a bunch of friends, you're going to you're gonna have fun playing the game, and someone will make a slightly questionable move, and you might call them out and, you know, say, you know, hey Jimmy, that seems a little odd. Are you sure you're not a traitor? And then someone else will jump in, and it'll be it's easy, happens so many times in this game, that you have that kind of like running joke where Jimmy's the traitor, everything he does, everybody has to like analyze whether or not that he's a traitor for sure or not. And even though he's not, he's just like, maybe he hasn't played this game much, maybe he's very good at it, or just did maybe one stupid move early on, and now he's gonna be accused of being a traitor throughout the whole game, unofficially. Just make sure it doesn't turn into an official accusation, because Jimmy's a loyal knight, so you don't want to flip a sword over to black, you know, just because of this running gag that you have going on. And that's happened quite a few times before in the past. And so yeah, just be careful before you do that. And that's about it for the general stuff. So in conclusion, this is a really fun game to play with your friends. But it is more just kind of one of those fun games because, like I said, skewed way towards the Little Knights. If you want a challenge after you play this a couple times, you'll want to use some advanced rules to make this as difficult as possible to give yourself a little bit of a challenge and to give the Traitor a chance to win too. But yeah, great for new players or just having fun, with your friends playing a game. Traitor aspect adds a lot to it. And yeah, I mean, if you're a hardcore gamer, you'll probably want to move on to a more difficult cooperative game. But yeah, if you just want to have some fun, awesome game to do it with. And I guess that's it. Check out my blog, forbiddenlimb.com. Check me out on my other YouTube videos. I do a bunch of these strategy analysis videos on other games. And yeah, request any others that you want me to do through probably YouTube comments. Just put it right down there. Let me know what you want me to do. Otherwise, yeah, I guess that's it. So until the next game, until next time.